Today's tutorial is going to be on how to create an assessment within Schoology. Make sure you're in the course that you want the assessment to be created in. You can always share it later with another course. Go to Add Materials, click Add Test or Quiz. Then you want to name this test or quiz, and this is what's going to be named in your PowerSchool gradebook, so make sure that you choose something that you're going to recognize. So today I'm just going to use example quiz. All right, you want to make sure you set a due date. If you don't set a due date when it goes into your gradebook, it will automatically default to the last day of the quarter, and then you have to go reset it. So you might as well set it now. You can always change it later if you need to. So I'm going to choose today as the day of the assessment. I'm going to make this out of 10 points, and then I'm going to tell it that it's a test. And it doesn't matter what you call it, because when it goes over into PowerSchool gradebook, you have to change it to achievement or process anyway. And then you want numeric. Then you want to click Create. Then it'll take you to this screen. Add a question. You can choose any type of these questions. You can import from the question bank, or you can import a test or a quiz. So I'm going to take multiple choice questions because those are the most common types of questions asked. So then up here, I'm going to put the question, and you can copy and paste this question from another source, or you can type it. The other things that you can do are you have your standard formatting things up here, like especially for math. But then you also have, you can add a link, you can insert content. So for an example, if I wanted to insert an image in there, I'd click Attach File, and then I can choose any type of picture file that I want. So I have, let's say this is 9 ways to engage students using QR code. So then I would ask a question based on this graphic. So over here, after the graphic, I would put, what are the most common uses for a QR code based on this graphic? And then I would put my choices. I'm just going to put these letters. You get the gist of what you have to do. And then you have to tell it which is the correct answer. I always choose random choice, and the reason that I do that is because that way when the kids get the questions are in random choice, which I'll show you how to do in a minute, and the answers are in random order, so that the kids sitting on either side of them probably do not have the same question, let alone the answers in the same order, but the data does remain intact. So click Create Question. All right, so now it lets you preview your question here. You can always edit anything about that question or add it to the test bank or delete from the gear shift up here. All right, so that's how you add questions, and you would just continually add your questions in there. So any type of question that you want to add, you just keep adding them in there. Now, up here you'll notice it says that it is unavailable. The way that you change that is you go to Settings, and then if you want to put specific instructions in here, you can do that as well. You can upload files, links. You can even leave an audio or a video recording. All right, so most of the time you want to make this available now, but if you want to shut it off, you can make it available now until a certain date, or if you want it to automatically open up at a certain day and then close at a certain date, that's the one you want. Now, the other thing is sometimes I put assessments in here early, so I hide them so the kids can't see them. It's up to you the way you want it, but in order for them to take it, you have to click Available Now. I personally don't give the kids a time limit, but you can choose to do that if you want. You can also give them multiple attempts at doing that, and one of the reasons you would want to do that is because if it's like a check for understanding or a bell ringer or an exit ticket, you want them to be able to go back and use this as a method of studying for whatever assessment it is that you're going to give at the end. So this would be a formative assessment if you give them multiple attempts, and then a summative assessment if you only give them one attempt. And again, this is also something that's changeable after you set the original parameters of it. If you need to change the language into Spanish, you can do that. Unfortunately, Spanish is the only language you can change it into right now. Question review. What this does is it gives them a chance to look at their answers before they actually click submit, so I always do that. Can they come back to it? That's up to you if you want them to do that or not. And then if I want them to be able to see the overall what they did before they submit, then I would click yes. I don't ever give them the correct answers at that time because after they submit it, because then they know the answer. So I just click yes, they can view their submissions, but I don't give them the answer. And then I click Save Changes. So now this is available. If I want to preview the quiz or assessment, I can do that. I can look at the results of them based on each individual student, or I can look at them by the data by question. If I look by student, it will allow me to view each attempt that they did so that you can look and see, for an example, was Adam getting more right as he progressed, or was he regressing in his ability to answer these questions? This is great for the data for that. You can also leave a comment about the quiz or the assessment. You can also put comments once they are scored. You can also leave a comment on each individual attempt if you wanted to do that. This is a great method to, if parents are looking at this, to be able for them to see, what your thinking is with them doing each of these questions. All right, so again, anytime you want to edit the quiz up here, if you want to copy it to another course or export the data, or you can even print the test out. So once you click print test, it's going to give you some options. Usually you want the ones that are defaulted, but sometimes maybe you don't. And you click print, and then this is the way that it comes up. And you would go ahead and print it out. So if you have a student that isn't able to complete the assessment on the computer, then you would print that out for them. And then the way that you would go and sync this to your gradebook is you would click PowerSchool. And then you need to find, once it loads, the name of whatever it is that you just made. So for example, here's mine's example quiz. And if I click sync, eventually it will tell me that it did sync. And then when you go into your grade book, on the top left-hand corner of your grade book, so see, it told me that it did sync. On the top left-hand corner of your grade book, you're going to be able to see a drop down that says File. You can click on File. I'm just waiting for my grade book to open. You can just click on File, and then you're going to refresh the class information. So right here, you go to File. You have to make sure you're in the class that you did that assessment in, by the way. You go to File and Refresh Class Information, and then if you'll notice, it pops up right here. It's going to be red, so what you have to do is double-click on it like you want it to change, like if you were going to edit it anyway. And then you change it into Achievement or Process, whichever it is that you need. And then it'll change to the color of the achievement or process. You click save, and that is exactly how you do that. If you have any questions, let me know.